2025 meeting of the Code Enforcement and Nuisance Board. Roll call.
Bruni.
Here.
Gonzalez.
Here.
Holman.
Here.
Hope everyone's had an opportunity to read the minutes from the October 20th meeting. If so, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Motion.
Second.
Gonzalez, Holman. Roll call.
Bruni.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
If the staff would please stand to be sworn in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. We will now move into our hearing agenda. Madam Clerk.
Okay. Agenda item 2025-56 is an appeal for code compliance. Case number 2023-4164, citation number 2023-8155.51, with a citation fine in the amount of $1,006.04 for the property located at 1002 State Street. Owner is Tina M. Hutchinson. Respondent is the Simpson firm with Allen Simpson, and Officer Sonia Duderick will present the case.
This case was a result of staff observation while at adjacent property on 7/21/23. During the initial inspection, the following violations were observed. Falling bricks, exterior wall, falling bricks. A notice of violation was sent to PVA listed owner and address on the above date with a compliance inspection date of 8/25/23. On 8, you can see the initial inspection. You can see the bricks on the side were missing and fallen. On 8/17/23, our office received a citizen complaint of homeless people on the property. On 9/5/23, the property was inspected, remained in violation. On 9/6/23, the property owner contacted the Code Compliance Division manager and spoke at the length regarding several of her properties being out of compliance. A meeting was arranged for the following Monday, which is 9/11/23, to come up with a game plan for all her properties that are in violation and outstanding fines. However, the meeting did not occur. On 2/14/24, the property was inspected, remained in violation. On 2/15/24, the property was inspected, remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to PVA listed owner. The compliance inspection date listed on citation was 2/26/24, and the following violations were added. Unmaintained roofs and drainage. Here's where I posted a first citation. Here's a close-up of all the bricks that's falling in the wall that's in disrepair. You can see the pieces of wood that are rotten, disrepair. Again, bricks. You can see the tree limbs growing out of gutters. On 2/27/24, the property was inspected, remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to PVA listed owner. The compliance inspection date listed on citation was 3/8/24, and following violations were added. Accumulation of construction, demolition, or landscape material. There's pictures from second citation. You can see there's no work on the brick itself. Here's the alley. You can see in the back a lot of stuff where citation was posted. Over the course of past year, staff has conducted multiple inspections of the property and maintained ongoing communication with the property owner in an effort to develop a compliance plan. During this time, the owner indicated that she was prioritizing other properties, but assured staff this property would also be addressed. On several occasions, the property owner stated that she had a contractor lined up to perform the necessary work. However, she has not provided any documentation to confirm the arrangements have been made to complete the work. There has been no significant or observable movements towards compliance. On 8/15/25, the property was inspected, remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to PVA listed owner. The compliance inspection date listed on a citation was 8/25/25, which since has been postponed due to filed appeal. The following violations were listed on the citation: accumulation of rubbish or garbage, accumulation of construction, demolition, or landscape debris, broken window, insufficient protective treatment, roof drains, gutters, fallen bricks, exterior wall disrepair, window seals and frames. There's a second citation posted, or actually third. You can see the bricks, there was no work being done, where it's fallen, the holes where all the other ones were falling off. The side of the building, the broken window. Again, the chipping paint, the bricks, again on the side. You can see that at the bottom, there's the wood that's missing and chipping paint. Again, the wood in disrepair, the bricks that are collected on the side of the building. There's window seals or trim work that's fallen off. The trees growing out of the gutter, the trash, missing window, the gutters down at the bottom, the gutters falling down. The citation issued on 8/15/25 was appealed on 8/22/25 and scheduled for September Code Board hearing. However, the appeal requested the case to be conducted the following month due to scheduling. The appeal was scheduled for October hearing, during which an attorney representing the property owner appeared and asked for another to be moved to November hearing. The request was granted by board. As of today, the case has been open for 850 days, and the property remained in violation. Here's pictures from today. The bricks still in the same disrepair, falling down. It's the side of the building, the missing bricks still there, and the side of the building, the broken window. The gutters, the window again, boarded up window. Have the exterior walls above, go back. Above the AC units, there's wood that's also in disrepair, broken window, missing window, trees growing out of the gutters, the wood in disrepair, broken window in the front, below the air conditioner there, the wood as well.
Mr. Simpson, I understand you're here in representation.
I am. Thank you, Mr. Bruni. Duderich, is that how you say your last name? Have you done any structural testing to determine whether or not that wall that you showed several pictures of is structurally sound?
I have not.
So
we
you don't know
do
that it's
structural.
I'm sorry?
We do the structural, but no, I have not done any
You've not,
testing.
so it
It's
very
just
well
what
may be
we
structurally sound.
observed. Yes.
Okay.
could be.
Have there been any citizen complaints that bricks have fallen and put anyone in danger?
The original complaint was observed by staff, and then we received additional complaint of homeless people in the back.
Okay. And I can assure you that Ms. Hutchison is concerned about the homeless people in the back. Has staff called the police department, asked them for extra patrol in that area?
They have not. That's something that property owners should do.
Okay. Are you aware that Ms. Hutchison has had people go and clean up literally human feces from behind her building because she can't keep them out of there and can't sit down there all night?
She has cleaned quite a bit already, and it keeps coming back, yes.
And they keep coming back, and that's just a problem that we have in our community, right?
It's each property owner's responsibility to maintain their property.
I understand, but we have homeless people at businesses all over town, right?
I understand, but it's each property's owner.
I understand, but I'm just trying to establish, this
maintain.
is not unique to her property.
It's her property to maintain, yes.
Is it unique to her property?
Each property is unique to its own way, yes.
So you showed a picture of the alley, and I don't know if he can go back to that or not. You said there was, keep going, maybe I can remember which one it was. Can you,
I have one from today where it's all cleaned up, yes.
oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one right there.
Yes.
You said
all
there
that is
was,
cleaned up.
you said there was stuff.
Yeah, there's
use
gutters,
Your words was stuff. What are we talking about?
there's gutters, there's fallen tree limbs, there's bricks, and trash in the back.
Okay. But it's cleaned up now.
As of today, it's been cleaned up.
Okay. Are you aware that she got an estimate to tuck and point that entire outside wall?
I'm not.
And it's $135,006? You aware of that? Okay. Did you interview the owner of the United Furniture business, Mr. Kirtley?
No, I did not speak.
Does he have any complaints about the cracked window or any of that?
I did not speak.
So you don't know if the building is watertight?
I did not speak with him, so I can't.
Okay.
I did not.
You didn't go in
inside.
and look around
No.
to see if there's any internal problems
No.
with the building? Okay. So there've been no landlord complaints either, correct?
What do you mean?
Well, the tenant, United Furniture, has been there, do you know how long they've been there?
For a long time.
Maybe, I don't know, 70 years maybe?
For a long time, yeah.
Okay. To your knowledge, are there any any tenant complaints from United Furniture?
No.
Are you aware of any of the personal issues that Ms. Hutchison has had that have kept her from trying to fix some of these issues? Excuse me.
I'm aware of some health issues with her mother.
Okay. You're only aware of the ones with her mother?
Most of the time when I talked to Ms. Hutchinson, she had some health issues here and there.
Do you realize that
nothing.
she is trying but is financially strapped and just literally doesn't have the money to do this right now? You know that, right?
She did mention it.
Okay. Give me 1 second. You realize that she spent quite a bit of money on some other properties that she had,
I'm aware.
and she had to kind of prioritize which ones she worked on that had the most urgent need, correct?
Exactly. It's in my summary. It explains, yes.
Okay, well, you didn't say anything about that to the board, but she, just so that they have the right impression, she has been trying to take care of this and just hasn't had the finances. Would you agree with that?
That's what she told.
Do you have any reason to disagree with that? Thank you.
I don't have any reason.
Mr. Simpson, to clarify, she did mention that to the board in her summary. She said that Ms. Hutchison at one point said that she was prioritizing other of her properties and that this was on her list farther down.
I think that's all the questions I have for the moment.
Any questions from the board? I do have one question. You said you have a quote for 135,000-ish for the facade, I guess, of the building. So I read here, on several occasions, the property owner has stated that the contractor is lined up to perform the necessary work. However, she has not provided any documentation to confirm the arrangements have been made to complete the work. How come we haven't gotten, or why were those not shared?
I have to ask Ms. Hutchison that. I
Okay.
talked to the gentleman at Soki Elite Contractors on Friday in preparation for this hearing, and was hoping that he was going to be here, but he's not. But having talked to him myself, and I know she's talked to him too, the bid's $135,000, and she just doesn't have $135,000. So,
Gotcha. Thank you.
yes, sir. Thank you for the water.
I'll make a motion to uphold the citation and fine an amount of $1,006.04.
I've got my client here to testify.
And I think you need to wait till he let,
Yep.
May I
Ms.
proceed?
Hutchinson.
Yeah. Yeah, right here. I'll stand over to the side. They can hear me.
Okay.
All right.
Ms. Hutchinson, if you would just raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do.
Thank you. Please proceed.
State your name for the record.
Tina Hutchison.
Tina, do you own this property that we've seen at 1002 State Street?
Yes, sir.
All right. How long has United Furniture been in that building?
My understanding is about 80 years.
80 years? Okay. Have you had the ability to sell that property? Have you had people approach you wanting to buy it?
Yes,
Okay. And why didn't you sell it?
because everybody that wants to buy it wants them to, wants me to kick them out.
Okay.
When I bought the building, I told Sam that I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. You understand the complaints that you've seen the pictures here today, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is not the first time you've been aware of these.
Correct.
Do you have the money to pay for these repairs? I mean, you got somebody to clean it up in the back, right?
Yes.
Do you have the money to do all these repairs that the code enforcement officer has said you need to do to get in compliance?
No.
All right. If
I
you-
have had some work done on the brick, which was in one of those pictures that they mortared like the corner. It was one of the people that I hired to do it. It really wasn't a very good job. I wasn't happy with what he did. So I didn't have him go back and do any of the rest because it's literally just mortar slapped up on that old brick, and it doesn't, I think you know which corner it's at. It didn't look good. So I have contacted so many brick people to try to get somebody out there. There is no access to the top of this building because when they tore the Sears building down, we lost all access to the top. It takes either somebody on a 30-foot ladder or with a boom to do it. Finding somebody is almost impossible, or it's $135,000.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, is that wall that we saw pictures of structurally sound?
I'm told it's structurally sound.
Okay. Who told you that? Is it a gentleman from Soki Elite?
Yes, and a couple of others as we've gone, as I've called people over there.
Just so the board has some idea, would you kind of go through sort of what's gone on in your life that's made you in a position where you can't just go over there and hire somebody to go fix it, so to speak?
Well, I purchased that building in 2015. I've had offers on 3 different occasions to sell the property, which I probably would have done if they would have not been going to kick United Furniture out in order to do that. In 2017-18, that's when the old Sears building that was connected to it was allowed to be torn down, which made us lose all of the access, and is what
To the
caused.
roof, the access
To
to
the
the-
roof
okay.
and to the top of the building.
Okay.
Because that was, we got on there from that building to go up, okay? There's no other access to the top of our building at the moment. When that was torn down, you all may remember that it ended up, well, we were told, it ended up causing the whole back wall of this building to fall in 2019. I had just gotten insurance. I had saved $500 a year on changing insurance companies for that building in December of 2018, and that wall fell in February of 2019. And so the insurance company denied paying for it because that insurance was small. I did get an attorney. I did fight it. I did end up getting money and was able to build the wall back. So we did end up getting that back wall, that back wall built back.
You still had to pay your attorney, though, out of what
I
you got
still
from
had to pay the
insurance.
attorney. I didn't get any money for that or, for some of the other things that it caused. I was honestly just happy to get what I got because I thought I was going to get nothing. And maybe I should have fought harder, I guess, but I didn't. So that was I did not get paid for that until November of 2019. And it fell in February of 2019. In December of 2019, that's when I found out my dad's health was bad. In January of 2020, I flew to Vancouver, Washington, to find out that he had terminal cancer. I was there for 3 weeks. I got really sick with COVID. That was right when COVID came out, and of course, it was in the Washington area, so yay, Mr. Broderick, I think I actually might have got it before you. I might have given it to you. So that was in January of 2020. So I was sick for 3 months. I came back in February of 2020 and was still sick. I lost my close Aunt Kathy to COVID in April of 2020. My dad died in May of 2020. We didn't get to have real celebrations of life for either of them because of the whole thing that was going on with COVID. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I said I wasn't going to do this. I did fly back in June of 2020 for my dad's funeral where only 10 people were allowed to be there for an outside funeral. There was no visitation. In November of 2020, I got COVID again. I was sick for 6 weeks. March of 2020, up until November of 2021, everybody knows COVID. We had tenants who wouldn't pay, and they were allowed to not pay. We couldn't do anything about it. We couldn't evict them. We couldn't do anything. But I still had my mortgages to pay. There was no relief for me paying my mortgages, even though the tenants weren't paying rent that normally helped me cover my mortgages. July 11th, I lost another family member. It took my mother to the St. Louis area where she fell at the funeral, broke her arm. They hospitalized her in St. Louis. Of course, I had to pay for a hotel room for 2 weeks there to stay with her. They found blood clots, blood pressure dropping, oxygen. She had a couple of serious surgeries with her arms, and her arm was unusable for about 8 months. November 2021, I broke my ankle and foot in 3 places and couldn't walk for nearly 6 weeks. December 10th of 21, that's when the tornado hit our home on Cedar Ridge. We were in the direct path of it. Anybody who's been over there knows that. I did get insurance money. However, insurance did not cover a lot of the tree removal that I had to have removed in order to get to areas of the actual house to do things. Excuse me, I'm going to pull a big wad of napkins out of my pocket.
So you had to use some of your insurance money for tree removal?
Yes, I had to use a lot for tree limb removal, and there did end up being people that came and helped after the fact, removed extra trees, thank God, because if they hadn't, I would have not had any money. So there was aid that came in after the fact, and thank God did help some, but I had already spent a huge chunk of the insurance money, which at the time I did it, at the time I spent the money, I thought it was recoverable. I was just getting the work done. I didn't realize it wasn't going to be covered by insurance, that trees were not covered by insurance. But in addition to our home damage, we had several other properties that were damaged from the storm, from the tornado. Most of them I did not have adequate insurance to cover. Some I had dropped insurance on because of my money issues from COVID. June of 2022, I broke my foot again, so I wasn't real mobile for about 5 more weeks. Around 2022 is, I think, when I first started talking to Sonia. She wanted to see improvement on Cedar Ridge by July 15th. I told her I had work scheduled to be done then. I don't know if you need to know about these other properties, but anyway, I'm going to tell you. And if the work was done, there would be no citation. I did have work. There was a citation list given the day before the work was supposed to be done, and the work was done, but it was upheld, and so it's still one of the many fines that I own. Brewer Tree Service was the one who did it and swore that they met the deadline, and that was $2,000 that I spent. I was notified by the neighbor of the citation on the door at that time. 2022, I got COVID again. Sick for 2 weeks, but not as bad as before. For the record, I've had COVID 9 times. So I think I could personally probably hold the record for COVID and may have had it a couple of weeks ago undiagnosed, but better now. Thank you. The contractor that we hired in 2022 to do the work on Cedar Ridge died. Nothing we could do about the money that we had given him. It was gone. He was gone. He was dead. He was supposed to have done the roof on it. November 22, my father-in-law passed away. June of 22 to October of 23, several times we've done cleanup and work, repairs done on Cedar Ridge just to try to keep the city happy and with low funds to do anything big. September, October of 23, regular work done on many things prior. I did get the roof replaced on Cedar Ridge. Again, was a big expense that basically I paid for twice. December 2023, properties that we had on West 15th Street, constant homeless people in them, breaking in them, trash, throwing garbage out the front. I paid to have it cleaned up in excess of 30 times. That's not an exaggeration. We put alarm systems in there. They were still breaking in. We found people in the houses, caught them, called the police, didn't even arrest them, just gave them a warning, let them leave. Constant problems over there. I did work on those properties. I did get those compliant. I did get them fixed up, and I did sell them, which was what helped me pay my back taxes because I was behind on city taxes also through all of this financial problems. Let's see. I got a notice on a property that I have on 10th Street because there was a golf cart there. It wasn't even visible from the road. It didn't belong to me, but I got it moved. Not really sure why it was that much of an issue because it wasn't visible. There was also like an Amazon box on the porch. And so that was noted that I needed to move the Amazon box. And I had a door neatly propped up on the back porch. Really wasn't visible unless you went on the property. It was there to be a replacement door when we were ready to replace it, but we did move it. And I did not get fined for that. But anyway, I mean, I think about like these little things on that property and all of these other properties around Bowling Green that look far worse than some of these. I just feel very picked on. June 24, storm damage messed up the roof on East 10th. She wanted it patched. We can't afford to put a new roof on it yet. I did get it patched right away. I was not cited for that. A property, which was a major property on a different one on 10th Street, was a deck. I spent about $50,000 altogether, including roof and rebuilding the deck and rebuilding the front porch and things like that. Again, this money came from me selling the properties and trying to get these in compliant. In July of 24, that's when the brick guy went and mortared up part of that building that wasn't a good job. So I was trying to get work done on it at a reasonable cost. In September of 24, I had another person make an offer on State Street. But again, everybody only wants it if we make United Furniture move out. Because they have been there for 80 years, they pay, and I have gone up on the rent. They pay more than they did, but it is very under-rented for the size space it is. But again, I feel like they're a staple of Bowling Green. The Kirtleys are good people, and they've had that business there for 80 years. I don't think it would be the right thing to do to sell it out from underneath them for $1. And that building was hopefully going to be, my retirement, since I don't really have any retirement left. September of '24, my mom was diagnosed with ovarian and peritoneal cancer. And it has been a really big struggle. Same month, Sonia messaged about homeless trash in the alley again back there. I had it cleaned up immediately. I've gotten a lot of the cleanup done on the Cedar Ridge property. I got everything done on the 15th Street properties and sold, and that was a whole lot of money. I got my back city taxes all caught up because I was behind from COVID and before. November of 2024, that's when I finished up the 15th Street properties and sold them. March of 2025, Sonia with the city says that Cedar Ridge was closed. Work was sufficient enough to close it. March of 2025, work was still being done on 811 East 10th Street. June of 2025, 811 East 10th Street was compliant.
That's the one you spent $40,000 on?
Spent $40,000, I said 50, but I guess including the roof.
deck
was
and the
probably-
porch and the chimneys,
Yeah,
right?
and, yeah. It had been worked on a little bit at a time as I could afford it. July 7th, they reopened something on Cedar Ridge, because the roof shed had storm or damage
After it had already been closed?
after it had been closed.
Okay.
So I got a new letter on it. I did do some yard work. I did have the shed roof redone. In July of 2025, I talked to Sonia about State Street, trying to get to the point to get things done. I don't have the money to do it. I spent all that I have on the other properties. I asked for time to make some more money, and because my mom's been real sick again. August of 2025, I hadn't heard from Sonia. I sent her a message that Mom had been back in the hospital, and I'd been in the hospital with her. Sent a message to tell her to make sure we were good. She said she had already issued a citation, but I had not heard from her since July either. And she has been saying that she knows I put a lot of money into it, and she was going to continue to communicate with me and do her best to give me time. I don't know how I'm ever going to get caught up on this when I just keep getting fined more. I just keep adding to it. August of 2025 is when I received an actual bid for the brickwork, which was $135,000. He said that these problems were caused by the Sears building being torn off, but the most major damage was already repaired, which was the back wall. The issues remaining are mostly cosmetic. There's several layers of wall, and it sounds as if it's not dangerous.
It's a sound wall.
It's a sound wall. He said that wall, that the pictures of the brick, that there's several layers of wall there. So it's cosmetic and not dangerous or not structural. Since July of 2021, my mom has required 24/7 care for safety issues. Since this date, she has been to or admitted to the hospital in excess of 30 times. I've completely lost count, with many extended stay visits: Greenview Medical Center, Centennial, and Vanderbilt. I have been the one I've been with her for everything. So many doctor's appointments and cancer treatments, hospital stays, and home care. It's been a lot to keep up with. I personally have had my own health care struggles that I told you about, that I've had confirmed COVID 9 times since January of 2020, and it seems to linger with me. When I get it, it just keeps holding on to me, not to mention the illnesses and deaths of the family, the people that we've had in the last 5 years. It's been rough for me financially. COVID nearly wiped me out financially. I got so far behind, and I've been selling and doing all I can to get caught up and get the properties repaired from the non-paying COVID tenants and the tornadoes and storms that caused damage to my home and other properties and vehicles. But I've gotten a lot done. I even sold my car. Currently drive my mother's car.
How many properties have you sold?
I've sold 6.
And you've used that money to make the repairs
Yes.
that you've been discussing?
Yes,
Okay.
the majority of it. I mean, obviously, I have other things that I've had to pay for too, but
Right.
I've used as much of it as I have been able to do that.
Hang on one second. So can you go back to the photos of the side of the building, please? The photos of the side of the building.
Gross. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. Yeah, okay. So, I'm sorry, I should have asked you to go to the ones with the windows.
Which one?
Yeah, hold on, he'll find it.
Here.
That's close enough. So, Tina, there are some windows that need some work, is that right?
Yes.
Is it caulking, or do they have to be are they completely out, or do you know?
I think, well, a lot of that was from the wall falling. We have everything boarded up, on the inside to
Okay.
keep it, safe for the building.
So let's assume, I know the brick thing is $100,000.
Right.
Are you asking this board to give you some more time just because of the reasons you just explained?
Yes.
To try to get this building in compliance?
Yes.
At this point, do you know how long it may take to make some of these I'll call these cosmetic fixes on these back windows and things of that sort?
I have found a handyman who's going to help me with some of the windows. He said he can start in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I don't really yet know the cost of it, so I may have to do them a little bit at a time. If it's as easy as replacing glass, then hopefully that's not going to be really expensive. Obviously, those 100-year-old windows, if it is going to be replacing an entire window and casing, each one will be a fortune.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's going to be, I'm hoping that the most of it will be able to be done reasonably.
Again, excluding the brick work on the side that we talked about as being so expensive, do you think you could make some progress on this in the next 90 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Hutchison, to follow Mr. Simpson's line of questioning earlier, do you have any tenant complaints from your tenants that are in there now about any sort of leaks or concerns in the building?
Not really. We have had a couple of leaks in the past, and we have addressed them, so.
Past how long ago?
I think we had something maybe at the beginning of this year. I think we had an issue.
Were there any tenant complaints?
That date,
I'm sorry.
I don't remember the exact,
Sure.
Is that a flat roof on top?
it is.
The gentleman that you said that had come and gave you the bid of $130,000, is he a structural engineer?
Don't really know.
Sounded like he was more of a handyman.
He seems like he
No, I think
knows what
it's
he's,
a full-out.
brick,
construction, brick
masonry,
company.
brick.
We don't know if he's a state certified with a seal structural engineer to make a determination if it is structurally sound, as you had asked Officer Duderick earlier, right? Okay, okay.
I didn't ask him that, but, from talking to him, and
If he's
we can
making
try
the
to get
determination.
you a copy of that estimate, but of course, like I shouldn't have done, I wrote on my original, so I got some notes on there. We can try to supplement the record later, whatever, but I'm telling you, I talked to the man Friday myself, and
I'm not saying you didn't say that, I'm just asking what his qualifications are to make that determination.
the name of the company is Soki Elite Contractors.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Mr. Simpson, I need you to speak clearly in the
Sorry,
mic
yeah.
for the record.
Soki Elite Contractors is the name, and what's his name, Tina?
Andy, I don't remember his last name.
I believe his name's Andy Martin.
I think that's correct, yes. And he was here with us when we were here
With Blake?
with Blake the other week. He was going to discuss all this with you, but he wasn't able to get here today.
so Ms. Hutchison, in 2019 or late 2018, do you recall any tenant complaints about leaks or anything inside the building?
In 18 or 19?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's when the wall fell.
I'm aware, but
Yes.
that's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Were there any indications that that was coming?
That the wall was going to fall?
Yes, ma'am.
I did not have any indications that the wall was going to fall, although I think there probably were some that I found out about that after the fact. But when they came and looked at the wall, they said that the wall fell because of the shifting from the Sears building being removed.
But that is also why you're saying that the brick is falling out of the side of the building now, was from that building being
Yes.
removed as well?
Yes.
So theoretically, equal damage on the back and the side?
But different walls. The wall there on that
Sure.
side is several bricks like several walls deep. The back wall was not.
So on the picture here on the screen, and I have a couple more if we need to go through them. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why that's not showing that. Let me see how I know how. Okay, and then, here we go. Oh, it's trying to rename that. So here's a photo from when that wall had collapsed in 2019. And as you say, you can see in this area up here where it is several bricks thick. But you had not had any either tenant complaints at that point, structural engineering surveys done or anything up until then, but it was concurrent damage that was caused by the removal of the Sears building, theoretically. Is that correct?
We believe, yes.
Okay, so for the board to understand, our concern, and certainly we sympathize with Ms. Hutchison's situation, medical situation, and overall life situation, our concern is that we don't want this to happen again. That if, there may be a general contractor who says, oh yeah, this looks okay, but especially with the temperatures that are out there now, if water is getting in between those bricks, which is what is causing the masonry to fail and the bricks to fail, and water gets in there and then freezes through the freeze and thaw cycle, that wall has just as much potential to fall as this one does without being fixed. And it's been 850 days since the case has been open, and obviously if it happened when Sears was brought down, the bricks may have been in that state for much longer. So the concern of water impinging inside of that brick area between the envelope of the building and the brick is our main concern of safety. Not to mention the fact that there's a lot of the small woodwork that's deteriorating that any time in the last 850 days could have been fixed with a $50 piece of wood and some green paint. Some of the broken windows, and I understand that some of these are maybe antique windows, but at some point our job is not a property manager. So if there's homeless individuals there, if there's other things that need to be taken care of, that is the property owner's concern, and I believe the board would agree, and hopefully, as would Ms. Hutchison, that we have been working with her for an extended period of time. But at some point, we also have to look out for the public and for the code itself that has been adopted by the city, which says that there cannot be holes in the sides of buildings, that there cannot be deteriorating facade and wood, broken windows, boarded windows for an extended period of time. And to go back to Mr. Simpson's earlier question at the very beginning, did the envelope of the building appear to be watertight? There's two windows where you can see that they are not, where water can clearly get in because they're wide open. So I would, again, not having been inside, I cannot 100% confirm that, but as a property owner, if I owned this property, I'd be very concerned about that, because this is going to be much more expensive if this happens on that sidewall than just making the repairs ahead of time. So that is our overall concern with this case. And again, I very much sympathize, and I appreciate Ms. Hutchison sharing all of that with us. And this is not a 30-day-old case. This is, several years old at this point. So
It's not just this property either. I have been working with
Absolutely.
Sonia and everybody on
Yes, ma'am.
everything.
But the work on those other properties does not put the bricks back in the wall of this one, right? And so focusing solely on the case that's before the board in this citation, I think is my main concern for the safety of the public and of course your building.
So, I don't know if there's a question on the table, if you had questions for her, but, there's no way to make this not sound like it's gonna come across, but are you a structural engineer?
I'm not.
Okay. So the city code enforcement board has not obtained anyone to say that it's unsound, right?
The general appearance of it would indicate that it is unsound.
But that would be
more
your
than it's sound.
speculation, would it not be?
As much as it is for your contractor who has
Okay.
speculated that it is structurally sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's no proof before this board that it's structurally unsound.
But it does not meet the code. The code says it
But
cannot
you're
have-
stressing a safety concern with no proof, correct?
No, not without proof. There's the proof right there. That
So
if
that-
the damage is the same that happened
It's a
when
different
the
wall,
Sears-
sir.
It is. But it's,
Okay.
she's claiming that damage is what occurred when the Sears was removed, which is the same as what she's claiming for the sidewall.
But the walls are different. The walls down this side are several bricks, because I asked this, are several deep, like several actual different walls. That has layers of walls, but not different walls. The one on the side, I guess almost like a firewall, because there was a building built next to it. That's the way it was explained to me, where this back wall wasn't. It's just a wall. That's it. The side wall over there, where those bricks are, is multiple layers, which wouldn't have been a problem, is my understanding, if the Sears building hadn't been removed, to begin with.
If I can interject, moving away from the structural integrity of the walls, what I do see on the list is the accumulation of rubbish and garbage, the accumulation of construction, demolition, landscaping debris, broken window, insufficient or inadequate protective treatment, and window sills and frames, as we've seen in the pictures. All of those are relatively doable fixes. And at this point, I am, from what has been presented, and that's all I have, I'm not seeing evidence of movement to fix those. Is there a reason for that?
I have cleaned up the whole back. I've cleaned it up several times. The structural things that were back there was a couple of gutters and a few bricks. And at one time, I had a pallet of bricks that I had saved because I thought we might need them, for any other repairs on the building. I was told to get rid of them. I did get rid of them. And I've taken those gutter pieces inside. We just did that this last weekend. But they were laid out next to the building. As far as the rubbish and trash, that is from consistent homeless people back there. I have called the police myself many times, asking them to patrol it. If they patrol it for a week or two, maybe, but it always comes back. And there's just, a lot. The weeds growing up, on numerous times, we have gotten them off from the bottom. But again, the stuff that's at the top, we can't get to it anymore. You can't get to the top of the building without a boom or a 30-foot ladder.
I understand. So without the ability to access the top of the building and the concerns for the roof drains, the masonry disrepair, and the exterior wall disrepair, in addition to the broken windows and whatnot, am I hearing you that a large part of your allegiance lies with your loyalty to United Furniture and the rent structure that's designed there?
Somewhat. I just feel like it's the right thing to do.
I understand. That's admirable. The issue I see at hand here is that without fixing the roof drains, the masonry repair, and the exterior wall repair.
I do want to say I have had patching done to the roof. I've not had a new roof put on, but I have had patches, put up there. I've had somebody with a boom go over there and just make sure that there wasn't water. At one time, we had some water that was coming in the building. I got somebody over there with a boom, and they did patch the roof. We haven't had any significant since then. So,
my concern is that so long as those things remain in apparent need of repair, this property is going to remain under the watchful eye of the code enforcement team and the board.
Everything I own is under their watchful eye right now, believe me. I am on the list.
And unfortunately is going to be persistent without being fixed. And when I hear you say we don't have the money to fix it, that's concerning.
Have the money to do all of the major repairs to that one wall.
Which we don't even know that they really, structurally, we're told that it's not even necessary. The brick person, Andy, that was his bid, $135,000, but he said, this wall is solid, you don't even need to do this. You're asking me for this bid, because that's what I told him I needed, because that was my understanding from them. But he says it's not even needed. So, if I don't have to fix that, all of that, some mortar or something can probably just be slapped up there, I guess. But, he says that that's just is one of the many walls. He said it's not going anywhere. That's what he said.
Some of it's going somewhere. Is there a sidewalk at the base of this front? The picture on the right, is there a sidewalk? This picture right here horrifies me to think that
That honestly is that right there is absolutely the worst place on the whole building, in my opinion.
We'll set aside the structural integrity. Bricks don't fall out of a building if it's perfectly okay. Have you generated income? You said you
those-
bought this in 2015. Have
I
you collected a
generated
rent?
income on this property? Enough to pay the mortgage.
You said some of your renters did not have to pay rent because of COVID. Was this one in that case? This one is paid every month
They did-
since 2015.
I'm sorry. Pardon me.
Every month for 10 years, this renter has paid rent.
I believe so. I believe possibly they might not have a couple of months during COVID, just because they were closed.
But
But I
essentially,
don't even remember. He may have went ahead and paid. I'm gonna say he always paid.
you've collected a rent at a price that you set forth as a business person, and subsequently, you've put little or no money into the repair or upkeep of the building. Is that what I'm seeing?
Not exactly. When I purchased the building, there was already a lease with the Kirtleys that had another 12 years on it. So that amount was set in stone with them. So that amount is,
You probably bought it having knowledge of that.
yes,
didn't you?
I did. And the amount was enough to cover, was
Th-
about
This
to cover
picture
the
right
mortgage.
here, and there's another one, Brad, that shows the base.
For clarification, Commissioner, that's on the side of the building you're looking at right there, not the front.
Understand?
Yeah, okay.
But there's another one that shows the base of that wall.
Yeah, to be clear, this portion right here where this awning is the front of State Street, and this is the corner of State and then the right side of the building. So if you're facing the front of the building,
It's where the Sears building was at,
that's the front of the building, yes.
yes.
The base.
So there's spaces that are missing brick, which means they could have landed on
That's,
someone on that
that's the repair.
sidewalk. Yeah, there's another one.
I can have those kind of repairs done. I just didn't think it looked very good.
That's the one. Where you see the space between the green and the red brick. I just know, very, very troubling to think about people on that sidewalk. That's where I just have a great problem. One other comment I wanted to make, I take a little offense at your picked on comment
I'm
because
sorry.
every month, we get a report from the division and, they look into about 1,000 cases a month, about 1,000 a month. So you have no idea or knowledge of, what they're dealing with, what comes before us.
I don't live my life as a victim either, so believe me, I want to rectify everything. I have asked for grace, but I haven't really, I'm not expecting anybody else to clean up my problems. I just want time to be able to clean them up.
850 days. I'll make one more comment. Seemingly, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, seemingly if somebody said, I'm going to fix this window on January of 2025, and then in March of 2025, I'm going to fix this other thing. A plan, generally, if we have a plan before us, but for 850 days and
There
not
was,
really-
I'm sorry.
for 850 days and to not really have a plan set forth, or you didn't provide them any document when you had roof patching done, it just has the appearance of evasive.
There was a plan, but it consisted of several properties and just trying to get one done at a time and move on to the next one. Some of them needed more repair, well, maybe not more repair than this one, but needed a lot of repair. So I've repaired, working with Sonia and a couple of the other ones, worked with them on getting one done at a time, just trying to get one off the list. That's all I knew to do. I could do a tiny bit to every one of them, but that was even harder, and then they're all staying open. We kind of agreed in talking about them that we were trying to close some of them out and get to where I didn't have so much on the books and look like such a bad Bowling Green resident.
We understand. This was just about this case before us
I know.
today.
Can I ask Sonia, is that, you all did try to close some cases out, right?
We did. She
And
worked with
she
me
did
on
make
the other
efforts.
properties, yes.
She
But-
checked them off as she could.
But yes, and when it came to this one, there was no paperwork. There was nothing ever provided in reference to this
She
one.
was
But the
making
other
all these
ones-
efforts on all these other properties.
The other ones have been closed on my end, the ones that I had.
Okay, so she's been working through all of these multiple problems, sort of what she went through to explain why she hasn't gotten to this one, right?
And during that time, I did not issue any citations on any of those properties as long as she was doing the work.
Right. So to suggest that she hasn't done anything at all on these multiple properties is not accurate.
We're talking about this property. There
Right,
was-
I understand, but,
yes.
well,
But
but
the
other
other
properties
ones-
have come up.
The other
But
properties.
the fact is, she
she's
was working
completed.
on trying to get some of these other properties fixed that were under the watchful eye of the board as well, correct?
The last property that I've closed, and I don't know exact date, but it's been a long time before she, and no other work on State Street was done.
I
And
understand. Okay.
We have any other conversation?
I would just like to say, she needs more time. This is a financial problem. This is not a lack of wanting to do it. And, you know, when I sat down with Ms. Hutchison and heard the list of problems she have, and I like to complain about my own problems, and she's had a lot happen. I mean, it's unbelievable, and quite frankly, I don't know how she's gotten through it all and still's kept an attitude of, I know I gotta fix this, I wanna get it fixed. Finding her is just gonna cause more problems. Instead of finding her, give her time to try to fix it. Let her use the money that you may be finding her to try to get the windows fixed and work together as opposed to working against each other. So that's what we're here to ask for, Commissioner Rooney.
Mr. Simpson, do you know if your client has paid any of the code violation fees? She mentioned she came current with all of the back real estate taxes, but any of the fines on any of the properties, have those been paid, any of them?
I have not. I was told, because I owed, I think, I may not have the exact amounts right, but I want to say it was about $35,000 on back taxes. And I think right now you all have about $25,000 worth of fines, I think, on me. When I was negotiating that and talking to them about paying it, I was told to pay the taxes off first, get the properties in compliant, and then try to see if I could negotiate with whoever it was that I negotiate with to try to get the fines down.
And
So
the
that's
reason-
what I've done. So I was doing it in that order. I got the property taxes paid. I've been working on the properties. They're not done yet, so I haven't addressed those fines yet because it's hard to say, hey, give me a break on these fines when it's not fixed yet, so.
And so the reason I ask is because Mr. Simpson just said that obviously adding additional fines is keeping money from being put towards the projects, but it sounds like none of those fines have been paid anyway, so I'm not sure that that really factors in. Well, I understand. Right. Right.
The negotiation that Ms. Hutchison's talking about is her payment plan that she has entered into with our office with Hillary Hightower. We specifically said, of course, all taxes first, but they had to be paid by the end of January of '25, and then the next payment in February was to be code. That was the agreement, but no payments have been made.
So she did pay all her?
Yes,
She did pay all of her taxes?
yes, she did.
Okay. Is this agreement in writing or anything?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
All right. But she hadn't been able to pay the code,
Do what, I'm
the
sorry?
code fines?
Correct.
Okay.
And that was put, I guess was put in there, but whichever one of you all that I talked to, and I don't really remember exactly who that was, did advise me that you get the taxes paid, get the properties fixed, try to negotiate the fines. And my understanding was that it's kind of three different departments somewhat, because whenever I've called even to try to negotiate the fines, when I've called in, they've told me to call somebody else. It's a guy. I don't remember his name.
I know you've spoken with myself and Christy Montgomery,
What's your name?
Rachel Danner.
Okay.
You've spoken with both of us
Yes.
about this, and we have both said we needed an action plan on what to get fixed. But to stay compliant with your payment plan, you were to start paying on code on your next payment, which was due February of '25.
Okay, and I guess that I did not, I guess if I entered into that, I didn't quite understand it because I was also told what I just said, that get the taxes paid, that was the most important thing.
Correct.
Work on fixing the properties. Once the properties were fixed, then I could try to negotiate some of the fines down.
Just so the board knows, how much were the taxes? Not you. I'll let her answer that if she can. Do you remember?
I would have to go back and pull records that I don't have easily access to right now.
Remember about how much they were, Tina?
I think it was at least $35,000 if I'm not mistaken. I had taxes from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024.
Yes.
So it might have been more than that. It was a lot.
Does that sound about right?
It does sound about right, but I do not know. I don't have the information in front of me.
How did you come into those funds, Tina, to pay those?
I fixed a couple of those buildings and sold the buildings and refinanced State Street. So the accumulation of all of those things to pay those and to do some of the repairs on the other buildings.
I'm going to ask you a question so the board knows. I asked you Friday, can you borrow any more money on the United Way building? How much do you owe on that building approximately?
About $800,000.
Well, my goodness, I can't imagine what you went through, and it causes me distress just to hear you replay it. At the same time, I can't sit here and say that this property is in compliance. Let's try this. I make a motion to uphold the citation, but to waive the fine amount of $1,006.04.
Second. Roll call.
Rooney.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
Thank you. The citation is upheld, the fine is waived.
Thank you, Mr. Bruni.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Is that it?
Madam Clerk?
Agenda item 2025-57 is an appeal for code compliance, case number 2025-9988, citation number 2025-14830.2, with a citation fine in the amount of $406.04 for the property located at 750 Park Street. The owner of the property is Harry A. II and Sarah News, and the respondent is Joseph Hodges Garza, and the officer, Heather Lashley, will present the case.
Good evening. This case was the result of a proactive inspection on September 29, 2025. During the inspection, the following violations were observed: overgrown weeds and grasses. A courtesy letter was sent to the PVA listed owner and address on that date. On October 7, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A notice of violation was sent to the PVA listed owner and address on that date with the compliance inspection date of October 13, 2025. On October 14, 2025, the property was re-inspected and remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner and address. A work order was submitted the same day for a city contractor to mow the property. The property was already mowed when the contractor arrived at a later time. Please note, there have been 9 code compliance cases at this location in the last 2 years, 8 of which were for the property being overgrown. The property has been issued citations and work orders and been mowed by a city contractor twice previously. This case was open for 15 days.
Representation or discussion?
We do have a respondent present for this case, sir.
Please come forward. Please state your first and last name.
Joseph Hodges Garza.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
Please proceed.
So I will admit, you know, I am kind of bad about procrastination. I've been living at this property since the beginning of March 2024 with a buddy of mine. I took over the lease and he moved out in August of 2024. I do not own a lawnmower or weed eater, so I very frequently have to ask people to borrow lawn care equipment. And, you know, they always get it to me on their time instead of when I need it. But like I said, I do take responsibility for procrastination. I could be more proactive with this, but as was stated on the date of the citation, I was able to ask my neighbor for his, and I explained this situation to him, so him and I have an agreement worked out since I don't have to spend the money on a weed eater because I'm financially in a hole myself currently. But he said I can use his weed eater from now on, so we don't have to keep going through this.
Discussion from the board. I make a motion to uphold the citation and fine in the amount of $406.04.
Second.
Bruni, Holloman, roll call.
Bruni.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
So you'll be able to speak with the clerk about the fine.
Is it Mr. Garza? Is that your name? I'm sorry.
Sir.
Hodges Garza. In the future, don't hesitate to give us a call or come by the office if you need extra time. We send multiple letters. A lot of times we'll put something on your door, and any of the officers, if you call and say, hey, somebody's got the weed whacker, I need a little bit more time, I'm going to get it, just communicate with us so that we know what's going on, and we're happy to give you more time. It's generally, if we don't hear from anybody, we kind of don't know your side of the situation. We don't know what's going on with it. So I'm glad to hear it sounds like your neighbor's going to let you borrow the weed whacker, but in the future, just, keep in contact with us. Let us know what's going on, okay?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Great, thank you.
Clerk.
Agenda item 2025-58 is an appeal for code compliance. Case number 2025-2811, citation number 2025-4628.8, with a citation fine in the amount of $1,006.04 for the property located at 1618 Parkside Drive. The owner and respondent is Therese DeWalt. Mr. DeWalt is in the audience this afternoon, and Officer McKenna Tabor will present the case.
This case was the result of a proactive inspection that was conducted on April 17th of 2025. During the initial inspection, the following violation was observed for a damaged roof. An NOV was sent to the PVA listed owner and address on that date with the compliance reinspection date of May 19th, 2025. On June 2nd, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Staff attempted contact with the property owner, Mr. DeWalt, regarding the roof damage and a separate overgrown grass case for the same property, and no contact was made. On July 17, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Staff made contact with Mr. DeWalt, and he questioned why the city was concerned with the roof damage. Mr. DeWalt was provided information regarding the property maintenance code, and it is explained that multiple overgrown grass citations and work order had been issued for the property, and that the continued lack of maintenance was causing it to become a blight on the area. Mr. DeWalt expressed frustration with the situation, indicated that he would reach out when he was able. He was asked to provide a feasible timeline for the expected repairs and to keep in contact with staff. On August 5th and August 29th, the property was inspected and remained in violation. On August 29th, contact was made with Mr. DeWalt, where he asked for proof of the roof damage, and photos were forwarded to him with the areas of the concern. On September 15th, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Mr. DeWalt had provided no contact or updates during this time. And those are the dates from the follow-up. You can see the roof damage to the far left of the roof. You could see the wood from underneath where the shingles had blown off or been pulled up. And on October 7th, the property was inspected and remained in violation. There have been no contacts or update from the property owner. On that date, a citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner. The inspection date listed on the citation was 10/17/2025. The following violations were listed on the citation for broken, boarded, and missing windows, an uncovered opening to the basement or crawl space, the missing damaged siding, the damaged roof, damaged gutters, an accumulation of construction, demolition, and landscaping debris, and just for failure of duty of maintenance of private property. And there's that citation that was posted that day, as well as the roof damage. The picture's not that great, but there's still the roof damage to the far left of it. The damaged gutter, the open crawl space, and then the accumulation of debris. And then the loose damaged gutter and the broken window. The citation that was issued on that date was appealed by the property owner, who failed to appear before the board at the October hearing, so the citation stood as written. On October 30th, the property was inspected and remained in violation. There have been no contact or updates from the property owner, and a second citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner. The inspection date listed on the citation was November 10th, 2025, which has since been postponed due to the filed appeal. And there's the second citation that was posted on the 30th, as well as the remaining violations of the debris. I will say he had fixed the roof. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but he had repaired the roof, so the roof damage had been taken off of the second citation. So I do appreciate that. But the window and the siding are still broken and missing. And as of today, the case has been open for 215 days, and the property remains in violation. Just to note, there's been 9 other code compliance cases, 3 citations, and 2 work orders at this location in the last 2 years. So from today, there's still the broken window, the damaged gutter, siding. He has picked up some of the debris from the back of it, but the windows, there's still a couple broken windows on the property. You can see straight into the house from that window. And that one's broken at the top. The picture's not that great, but it's broken up in the top right of it.
Is it occupied?
It doesn't appear to be.
What's the question?
Is the home occupied?
No, it's not.
Mr. DeWalt, could you state your first and last name into the mic?
Therese DeWalt.
And could you raise your right hand, please? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Proceed.
The property is in the process of being renovated at this point. So that's where the stuff in the back comes from. As far as the window, I think that there are some homeless people that have been breaking in, because if you inspected the home prior to now, I mean, that window wasn't like that, and nobody's lived in the home for maybe 3 years. So we are in the process of fixing that window, and I'm just here pretty much just to request some more time just to get everything fixed. Because like she said, the roof has been fixed. We've covered up the crawl space. We've got that covered up, and we've gotten the debris up in the back. So everything else is fixed other than the gutter and the window. So just wanting to request some extra time for it.
Do you have a timeline of estimates on the window?
Well, I mean, the window, just putting a brand new window in is kind of costly, you know? So if I could get, you know, at least another 2 months just to be safe, I mean, it could possibly be done well before that, but I would just say another 2 months from today.
You have questions?
2 months to replace a window and put gutters up?
Yes.
I can just say something. My concern is you're speaking about homeless people that are hanging out there. If it's been vacant, as long as you say it has been, then they might know that it's vacant. And if you have the broken window, that just worries me that they could go in there and take up residency in it. With it being a broken window, is there any way that you can maybe get some plexiglass or something just to put up behind it, just to deter people from getting in there with it being open?
I mean, I could put a board up,
Okay.
just to board it up.
I just don't want to
for the
leave
time
it
being.
open, because then it exposes it to people trespassing, and then it makes it, vulnerable to the elements and stuff, and it's already starting to snow. So
right.
that could cause you further problems. If you could at least just make some progress as far as that, that would make me feel a little bit better about it sitting vacant and nothing really being done for the next couple months. I don't want to leave the window just open.
Do you feel that you could get these repairs done within 30 days?
I mean, it's possible, but 2 months, it's going to give me a little bit more time just in case I don't. You see what I'm saying?
I understand. I feel like 2 months is going to be a little long for the board to approve. That's why I asked in 30 days, a 1 month time frame, in particular the window.
Right. 3 days.
So, what I think what I would like to do for you would be to waive the fine and uphold the citation.
Right.
If you could get that boarded up tomorrow or within a week, that would be great. We won't have another session until January, so you're probably going to get 60 days, but McKenna will be following up as per her regular schedule. So if she can see progress and she doesn't have to pursue you, then I think for the next session, this won't be an issue. So I would like to make the motion to uphold the citation, but to waive the fine. And hopefully you can use that savings from the fine to fix the window as soon as possible.
Second. Gonzalez, Bruni, roll call.
Bruni.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
The citation is upheld. The fine is waived. We hope to see progress between now and the January meeting.
Okay. You good?
Thank you. Madam Secretary.
Agenda item 2025-59 is an appeal for code compliance. The respondent did contact our office earlier this afternoon requesting that be moved to the next hearing date. We did grant that request, so we will hear that at the next hearing. Moving on to new business, since there is no old business. Agenda item 2025-60 is for code compliance. This is a request to apply a repeat offender designation for Ty Nguyen and all associated LLCs, including but not limited to Tybo's Home LLC, Tybo's Landing LLC, Go Big or Go Home LLC, Bluegrass Builders LLC, Black Diamond Property Ltd., Prime Investment Group LLC, Everstone Landing LLC, TTT LLC, Three Bros LLC, PT Dirt Moving LLC, and Officer Brad Shagorotsky will present the case.
Just one, there's Bonam LLC at the end there as well, just to be clear. So a couple things. First of all, Mr. Nguyen was sent notice, as is statutorily required, to appear tonight for this repeat offender designation. He was given at least 7 or more days' notice by certified first-class mail, and so we have this at the beginning of new business in case he were to show up and plead his side of the case. Just to recap, the repeat offender designation in the ordinance, So a person shall be classified as a repeat offender only at the recommendation of staff to the Code Enforcement Board. We did give him the 7 days' notice that's required, and the board shall establish a period of time that a person is to remain a repeat offender status no less than 12 months, no longer than 24 months. Any citations that I discussed tonight in justifying him as a repeat offender will not be used in the future against him for other repeat offender designation as required by the ordinance. So in addition to all those procedures, we will take enhanced enforcement action against Mr. Nguyen if this is approved as a repeat offender. We do not have to give personal contact or notices of violation. Any observation by staff of a code compliance or code enforcement violation can be issued a citation on site, basically. We can also institute a program of regular inspections involving any properties that they own, including all of these LLCs. Anyone that's designated a repeat offender shall have a maximum fine of no more than $1,200 unless they were to appeal a citation, and if they come here on an appeal, then the board can double that to $2,400 if they uphold that citation. So that's just a quick recap. So here is how someone is designated as a repeat offender. Repeat offender, there's an Adobe Acrobat ad. Repeat offender means that they have done one of the following three things. They have been issued a fourth citation for any of the violations of Chapter 27 on any of their properties within a 2-year period. They've been issued a third citation for any violation in any of their properties within a 12-month period. And they have been issued a second citation, has been issued a second citation for any violation of this chapter for any of their properties in a 2-year period, and they have outstanding fees, fines that are unpaid. And again, only the citations that are final orders that they have had a chance to appeal and have not appealed can we bring before the board. So as Pam pointed out, there are 11 LLCs that Mr. Tai Nguyen currently uses. I won't repeat them, but there they are on the screen. And currently we are aware of 17 properties owned by either he or those LLCs. Again, I won't repeat them, they're on the screen there, but they are on Catherine Drive, Stonehenge, Woodford, pretty much all over town. So this individual qualifies for A, B, and C for repeat offender designation. So just to go over some of the properties, 1956 Stonehenge has had 5 citations and 2 work orders in the last 2 years. 3 of those count towards repeat offender, which was May 2nd of this year, as well as October 15th and October 29th of this year. 1960 Stonehenge had 5 citations and 2 work orders. 3 of those count towards repeat offender on the same dates. 1724 Catherine, 1 citation, 1 work order, and of those 1 citation counts towards repeat offender on April 25th of 24. 229 West 14th, he has had 9 citations and 3 work orders in the last 2 years. 8 of those count towards repeat offender. The dates you can see there on your screen. 1245 Shannon Drive, there have been 6 citations and 2 work orders in the last 2 years. 6 of those do count towards repeat offender on the dates that you see on your screen. 473 Glen Lily Road has had 1 citation and 1 work order in the last 2 years. 1 of those counts towards repeat offender for June 4th of this year. 5402 Bakers Spring Street has had 6 citations in the last 2 years. None of those count towards repeat offender. 635 Woodford Avenue, 2 citations in the last 2 years, and none of those count towards repeat offender. Reason being, all of those are public works citations, so those are citations of Chapter 21 of City Ordinance, which do not count towards Chapter 27 repeat offender. Currently, there's an unpaid fees, fines amount counting towards repeat offender of $48,787.88. That is not taxes, that is purely code enforcement citations and work orders or fines. You see how those are broken down there. Tybo's Home LLC, $43,000, $5,000 on Go Big or Go Home, and $219 under his name. And again, it notes there on the bottom that there are additional outstanding fees and fines that are not included in this because they are either public works or animal control or contractors licensing board citations. Just a little history on this as well for the public record. Due to multiple and significant violations at several of Mr. Wynn's properties and continued noncompliance across multiple city agencies, the Public Works Department issued stop work orders at 9 of his properties on May 2nd, 2025. In addition to that, the Bowling Green Warren County Contractors Licensing Board brought an intent to revoke his license motion against Mr. Wynn before their board in June. The revocation of Mr. Wynn's contractor license was approved by the board by default and was effective June 4th of this year. Mr. Wynn later violated the license revocation on multiple occasions and continued to engage in unlicensed contracting activity. A civil complaint was filed in district court against Mr. Wynn on July 16th by the Contractors Licensing Board, later resulting in a permanent court-ordered injunction against Mr. Wynn and any current LLCs owned by Mr. Wynn, his agents, employees, or anyone acting in concert with him. Mr. Wynn owns multiple properties in the city which continue to be in violation of city ordinance across multiple agencies on an ongoing basis. Furthermore, and completely by happenstance, earlier today, the Public Works Director requested a meeting with the city attorney, myself, and some other agencies about Mr. Wynn because they are continuing to have so much difficulty getting any of his properties into compliance. Every time he hires a contractor, since he is not able to work, the contractor will pull a permit and attempt to do work, and then shortly thereafter, that contractor will generally call Public Works, and we get an email saying that that person wants to be taken off of all of his permits and no longer will be doing business with him. So he's not able to secure anyone who's really helping him with any of these properties, and is continuing to recidivate with code ordinances. So our request from staff is the maximum $1,200 per citation for a period of 24 months moving forward for any future violations at any of his properties for Chapter 27 code violations. So this is not Public Works, this is not animal control or contractors licensing, only violations of our ordinance.
Any discussion or questions? We have a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to designate this property owner as a repeat offender and set the future citation in the amount of $1,200 per citation for a period of 24 months.
Second.
Gonzalez, Holman. Roll call.
Rooney.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
Moving on.
Agenda item 2025-61 is for code compliance. This is an authorization request to issue a per-day fine citation for case number 2024-4231 for the property located at 1016 Beauty Avenue. The owner is Cedric C. and Junie Burnham, and Officer McKenna Tabor will present the case.
This case was the result of a proactive inspection that was conducted on May 14th of 2024. During the initial inspection, the following violations were observed for a damaged roof, and then I called BGMU, and they advised that the property has not had utilities since 2013. An NOV was sent to the PVA listed owner and address on that date with the compliance inspection date of June 13, 2024. On June 13, 2024, the property was inspected and remained in violation. The property owner, Mr. Burnham, emailed and requested an extension as he had just received the notice. Staff agreed to a month extension. On multiple dates in July, August, and September of 2024, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Staff attempted to contact with Mr. Burnham on all dates, and all attempts were unanswered. On October 7, 2024, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A door tag was posted at the PVA listed address for Mr. Burnham requesting that he contact our office. And again, on multiple dates in October, November, and December, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Voicemails were left at multiple points of contact from Mr. Burnham, and no calls were returned. On January 7, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Staff made contact with a family member of Mr. Burnham to request their assistance in getting contact with him. On February 5th and February 19, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation with no contact from anyone affiliated with the property. On March 20th, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Mr. Burnham contacted staff, and the condition of the property and his options moving forward were discussed. He expressed intent in demolishing the structure, and he was asked to remain in contact with our office and to make sure to apply for all those permits to move forward with demolition. On March 31st, 2025, there have been no updates from Mr. Burnham or any permit applications on file. Contact with him was attempted but was unsuccessful. On June 11, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. There were still no permits on file, nor had there been any communication from the property owner. On August 22nd, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation, and contact was again attempted without success. And on September 15, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner. The inspection date listed on the citation was September 15, 2025, and the following violations were listed on the citation for no utilities since 2013, roof damage, and it was listed as vacant and abandoned since it's been that long since it's had utilities. And there's that first citation that was posted. You can see the roof damage. And then there's broken windows, which was observed leaving that first citation, as well as an open crawl space. On September 26, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner. The inspection date listed on the citation was 10/6/2025, and the following violations were added for the broken boarded missing windows, the uncovered opening to the basement and crawl space, as well as the foundation. There were some foundation walls that had some cracks and were kind of pulling away from the house, and just lack of duty of maintenance of private property. And there's that second citation. As you can see, the window above the doors, or whatever that was, is boarded up, and there's some separation of the siding over there, still the roof damage. And then the broken windows. That picture's kind of hard to see, but there's some fascia that's missing from the roof. And then almost every window on the bottom floor is broken in the house. And on 10/8/2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A third citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner, with the inspection date listed as 10/20/2025. Just a lot of the same pictures, just different dates. There's some more of that roof damage. And still the broken windows. So as of today, the case has been open for 552 days, and the property remains in violation. Still no utilities, still the damaged roof, broken windows, just lack of duty maintenance of private property.
Any discussion or questions?
No, sir. I make a motion to authorize issuance of a per day fine citation in the amount of $100 to run for a period of 60 days or until in compliance.
Second.
Holman, Gonzalez, roll call.
Rooney.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes?
Moving along.
Agenda item 2025-62 is for code compliance. This is an authorization request to issue a per-day fine citation for case number 2025-1535. Location is 302 Clearview Avenue. The owner is Danny Brown, and Officer McKenna Tabor will present the case.
And this case was the result of a complaint-based inspection that was conducted on February 27th of 2025. During the initial inspection, the following violations were observed for an accumulation of construction, demolition, and landscaping debris, and an accumulation of rubbish in a truck being used to store construction material. An NOV was sent to the PVA listed owner and address on that date, with a compliance inspection date of March 11, 2025. And there's that truck. You can kind of see the stuff that's being stored in the back of it. An NOV was sent to the PVA listed owner with the compliance date of March 11, 2025. On March 14, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation, and a door hanger was left at the property requesting contact with our office. On March 31st, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A phone number was located for the property owner, Mr. Brown, and contact was attempted with him. On April 16th, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Staff attempted contact with Mr. Brown again, but were unsuccessful at that time. But later in the day, he made contact with our office and advised that he would have the property in compliance by that Monday, which was April 21st. On April 24th, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Staff reached out to Mr. Brown to request an update, but contact was unsuccessful. On April 29th, the property was inspected and remained in violation, and contact was made with Mr. Brown, who requested another week to bring the property into compliance. On May 7th and May 21st, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Staff attempted contact with him on both dates, and both times we were unsuccessful. And multiple inspections were conducted in June and July, and the property remained in violation. However, there had been progress made towards compliance, so he had taken some of the stuff out of the back of the truck that was on there, and he's indicated that he was trying to get some of that stuff cleaned out, and then he was gonna remove the truck. On August 5th and August 22nd, the property was inspected and remained in violation. We attempted contact with him. Attempts were unsuccessful, but again, some of that progress that I just mentioned was noted. On September 17th, the property was inspected and remained in violation, and at this point, there had been no contact with him, with Mr. Brown, for several months. On September 26th, the property was inspected and remained in violation, and a citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner. The inspection date listed on the citation was October 6, 2025, with the following violations listed on the citation for an accumulation of construction, demolition, and landscaping debris, an accumulation of rubbish or debris, parking in the yard, and improperly parked and stored trailer. And there's the first citation that was issued, as well as the vehicles that are parked in the yard now, that was not on site at the original, but has continued to generate complaints from neighbors that are calling to complain about the truck in the yard. A second citation on September 26th was issued. It was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner. On October 8th, the property was inspected, and that's when the second citation was issued, with the follow-up inspection listed as 10/20 of 2025. You can see the truck still parked back there with some of the stuff in the back of it, as well as the one in the front yard, with all the debris in the back of it. And on 10/23, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner, with an inspection date listed of 11/3/2025. And then again, just the trucks and the rubbish. As of today, the case has been open for 263 days, and the property remains in violation. The property owner has recently contacted staff to express frustration with receiving citation, but has not provided any plans or updates toward compliance at this time. And as you can see, the property still looks the same, so there's not been any attempt to move anything or clean anything else up.
Do you have any questions or discussion? I make a motion to authorize the issuance of a per-day fine citation in the amount of $100 to run for a period of 60 days or until in compliance.
Second.
Bruni, Holloman, roll call.
Bruni.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
Moving on.
Agenda item 2025-63 is for code compliance. This is an authorization request to issue a per-day fine citation. Case number 2025-7185 for the property located at 2135 Russellville Road. The owner is Samar Pan LLC, and Officer McKenna Tabor will present the case.
This case was the result of a complaint-based inspection conducted on July 22nd, 2025. During the initial inspection, the following violations were observed for overgrown grass and weeds. An NOV was sent to the PVA listed owner and address on that date with a compliance inspection date of 7/28/2025. On 7/31/2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. An attempt at contact was made with the property owner, Mr. Patel, and staff requested that the entire property be mowed. On August 7, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. Another attempt at contact was made with the property owner to request that the lot be mowed. On August 21st, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. On that date, quote requests were sent to 3 city contractors to determine the cost to have the property bush hogged once a citation was issued. And on August 25th, 2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner. The inspection date listed on the citation was August 28, 2025, and a work order was also submitted for a contractor to mow the lot. there's that first citation. As you can see, the grass is a little overgrown over there. It backs up behind the business that sits in front of it. There's also a bunch of adjacent businesses that it grows over onto, as well as the Spring Hill subdivision, which runs back behind the property. And there's a better view of where it backs up to the Spring Hill houses. And back behind the houses, you can kind of see, I was driving through in between them, and you can see how they're right there on the people's backyards that live over there on Leland. On August 27th, the lowest quote of $700 to bush hog the property was accepted, and the contractor arrived to cut the overgrown portions of the lot. But after attempting to cut the overgrown areas, the contractor called our office stating he would not be able to complete the work. The division manager met with the contractor on site and observed that there were overgrown areas of rebar, concrete, trash, rocks, construction debris, and an entire bicycle that was hidden in the overgrowth. As such, the contractor was damaging his equipment and was unable to continue the work. The city was charged $200 for the equipment, the transport of the equipment, and the portion that he was able to cut. And he suggested that a bulldozer would be needed to clear and level the lot, as it would not be maintainable in its current state. And as you can see the photos from that day, all the rock that he kind of pulled up with it. On September 5th, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner. The inspection date listed on the citation was 9/15/2025. The following violations were added: for vacant structures and land, duty of maintenance of private property, accumulation of construction, demolition, and landscaping debris. The property just become an attractive nuisance, as well as having grading and drainage issues, as well as an accumulation of rubbish or garbage. And there's just follow-up pictures from the grass from that date. On 9/16/2025, the property was inspected and remained in violation. A citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner, with the inspection date listed as 9/26/2025. So as of today, the case has been open for 118 days, and it remains in violation. It's been undergoing commercial development review through various agencies for future development into a proposed strip mall. However, the property remains overgrown and poses a safety hazard to the Spring Hill neighborhood properties and adjacent businesses. Additionally, the property generates frequent complaints regarding wildlife, insects, being an eyesore, and additionally, it poses a fire hazard in close proximity to the businesses and residences. In addition, this case is regarding the large vacant lot behind Leo Liquors that sits right on Russellville Road. There's a discrepancy regarding addresses in the city mapping and computer systems, the PVA and the commercial permit and CDR process. Historically, the property was known as 2205 Russellville Road. However, when the parcel was split to build on the smaller lot in the corner, it was changed to 2135 Russellville Road. So planning and zoning and city mapping currently shows the entire property as 2135, but they're actually two separate parcels. So PVA currently shows the large vacant lot as 0 Russellville Road and the smaller corner lot as 2135 Russellville Road. And to add further confusion, plans that are currently under review with planning and zoning for commercial development call the entire property 2205 Russellville Road. So there's a few different addresses for it. So, but for the purposes of this case, citations will continue to be issued under the same case number and location, which we have as 2135 Russellville Road. But it's also going to be linked to the 0 Russellville Road address. And those are all intended to cover the large vacant lot, which is overgrown and not maintained on the property. This case has been open 118 days, and this is my last case for the night, so thank you for listening to me.
Questions or discussion?
Thank you.
I make a motion to authorize the issuance of a per-day fine citation in the amount of $100 to run for a period of 60 days or until uncompliance.
Second.
Bruni, Gonzalez, roll call.
Bruni.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
Moving on.
Agenda item 2025-64 is for code compliance. This is an authorization request to demolish a structure for case number 2024-8067 for the property located at 416 East 6th Avenue. The owners are George E. and Emma A. Whitney, the estate of those, and Officer Brad Shagaratsky will present the case.
Me. This is the last one. Thank you guys for sticking around. This is a request to authorize us to demolish the structure involuntarily. The case was initially the result of a citizen complaint that came in on the 13th of September of last year. During the initial inspection, the officer found exterior use and storage of indoor furniture, an unlicensed and inoperable motor vehicle, failure to maintain street sidewalks and public ways, structure unfit for human occupancy, and an unsafe structure. Notice violation was sent to the PVA listed owner and address on that day with a compliance inspection date of the 23rd of September of last year. On October 17th, the property was re-inspected and remained in violation. On that date, a citation was issued and posted on the property, as well as sent by first class and certified mail to the PVA listed owner and address. A compliance date listed on that citation was the 28th of October of last year, with the violations of duty of maintenance of private property, abandoned property, unlicensed inoperable motor vehicle, indoor furniture, and vacant structures and land not properly maintained. Additional citations were issued on the 29th of October of last year and the 26th of November of last year. On December 6th of last year, the property was inspected and remained in violation. An individual who said his name was Greg was observed walking around the property. He was asked if he was staying there, and he clarified that he was homeless. He does not stay there, but he feeds and takes care of a cat that stays on the side porch. We later found out was named Tiger, by the way. The property was found to have an unsecured window at the time. A possible property owner's relative named Odell Wilson was contacted. He is not local, but he stated he would have someone come secure the window. He also mentioned plans to sell the property within the next 6 months from that date. He was advised the property needed to be properly secured and maintained until any change of ownership. On the 9th of December, an individual named Patrick, who is believed to be a nephew of Odell Wilson, called and advised he was securing the window. In January of this year, the city law department had comprehensively determined the 5 property heirs for this location and began to contact each to discuss their intent for the property and possibly get voluntary consent to demolish the property. On the 27th of March and the 24th of April of this year, Patrick was again contacted regarding different violations on the property, including brush piles, boarding up another window, and cleaning up the front porch. On the 2nd of May of this year, additional emails were sent to property heirs as a last attempt to bring the property into compliance due to an extended period of noncompliance. Authorization to issue a per-day fine citation was approved by the board at the January 2025 hearing, and that citation was issued on May 16th of 2025. It ran for the full 60 days without any improvement at the property. In July of this year, the law department worked with our office to generate voluntary consent to demolish forms. Those forms were sent to all heirs who had verbally stated by phone that they would sign to allow demolition of the structure. On the 6th of this month, we informed the law department of our intent to bring the property before the board for involuntary demolition due to the property being vacant, abandoned, and unlivable. The dwelling has not had utility service since February 5th of 2018, which is 7 years, 9 months, and 13 days. There's an outstanding amount of $10,417.33 currently owed on the property between code violations and 3 years of unpaid property taxes. The law department is still waiting on signed and notarized consent forms from Robert Whitney in Arizona, notarized consent forms from heirs Anthony Wilson and Odell Wilson, who had returned signed forms, but they were not notarized, and return of any sort of forms from heirs Joyce Coleman and Carmen Green. Rachel from the law department can confirm if any of that has changed if the board were to require it. But as of today, the case has been open for 430 days. The property remains in violation. It's vacant, abandoned, characterized by multiple code violations, and is a blight on the surrounding property. A quick reminder to the board that approval for involuntary demolition simply allows us to begin the lengthy administrative process of lien holder notification, asbestos inspections, utility removal, and eventually demolition. The city's law department provides what is known as a demo memo, informing us as to all parties with any sort of financial interest or ownership in the property. If the board authorizes demolition, we send letters to all of those parties by first class and certified mail, informing them that all structures will be demolished and allowing them 30 days to contact our office to stop that demolition. Once that 30 days has elapsed, all utility companies are notified to remove service to the building, and the structure is checked for asbestos, which is remediated if found. A demolition permit is then obtained by the city's contractor, and demolition is scheduled. All of this generally takes between 45 to 60 days after board approval, and if for some reason we were to get the voluntary consent forms between now and then, we would certainly go that route. Either way, though, it sounds like the city is going to have to demolish it and just put a lien on the property for the cost of demolition. The pictures here that you see are from today. You may notice in this picture on the left-hand side that there's kind of a building in the distance with a rough-looking roof there, but that there's 2 vacant lots. Those are lots that the city just recently demolished at 410 and 412 East 6th with voluntary consent of the property owner, as they were also vacant, abandoned, and blighted. So this is kind of sticking out like a sore thumb now because those other properties are gone, and I'm concerned that it's going to be even more of an attractive nuisance for vagrants or homeless individuals, since it's alone on the block at this point. You'll see some damage to the roof, fascia, the front of the building. It's just overall obviously not being maintained by anyone except for occasionally. There's stuff accumulated on the porches and in the front yard, and we're requesting involuntary consent to demolish.
Questions or discussion?
As of today, we still have not received Anthony, Odell, Wilson, or Carmen Green. We have been actively calling and emailing, but they have not responded. We have talked to Odell, who just says it's fine, but won't send the forms in.
Make a motion to authorize staff to move forward with involuntary demolition of all structures at this property.
Second.
Gonzalez, Holman, roll call.
Rooney.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
That concludes our business. I believe we have a staff request that the board consider canceling the December hearing due to the holiday season. If a motion is made and approved, the next hearing will be Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Do we have a motion to cancel the December hearing?
I'll make a motion to cancel December meeting and get back together in January.
Second.
Holman, Gonzalez, roll call.
Rooney.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
Our next meeting is Tuesday, January 27th. Are there any other comments or announcements? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Gonzalez, Holman, roll call.
Rooney.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Holman.
Yes.
We are adjourned.